Oh, you know what it is.
We back with it.
We back in the original space. This is where we belong. This is where we need to be. I love it. All right, anyways.
All right.
Now that I got that out of the way, what sucks is the other board doesn't have that song. And that, I feel like, is our intro song.
Anyone that heard the previous podcast to this, we didn't have any of that cool shit.
No.
There was like a bomb drop.
Yeah, that was cool, but this has got way better.
Anyways,
way better sounds.
Welcome back to the All Facts podcast, guys.
What is this, episode 4?
1, 2, 4.
This is 4.
Oh, quick side note. So when we started this, the dude that does all of our editing here, he told us that the magic number for people that start podcasts is 7. Like most podcasts
don't make it past 7. So when we hit episode 7, oh, it's gonna be crazy. We're giving away $1 million.
It's gonna be pretty cool. Anyways, the last episode we had our first guest on. That was dope, Mr. Blake Roberts.
Big shout out to Blake.
That was a lot of fun.
That was awesome.
I had a good time. That was fun. Not just chatting me and you, but having another outside perspective, which was pretty interesting.
I think that we couldn't have asked for a better first guest.
No, dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. We got a lot of good feedback, so I'm excited to have more and more guests on. Episode after this one, or the one after, I don't know. Next one or the one after, we'll have another guest, which I'm super excited about. That'll be fun. This guy we're gonna have on, I'll just give a quick little random.
Give a little teaser.
Yeah, a little teaser. I think he'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think he has 6 kids.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, and he's not even like 35. He might be 35. No, I think he's
gonna have to talk about that. Yeah, like, hey, so tell me how you don't eliminate yourself. Let me know how that happens.
I have 2 and I don't understand. All right, so that's a cool little teaser. We'll have him on very soon.
What do you want to talk about today, though?
Right now, question. What do you want to talk about?
You know what? And I think this is really important. Let's talk about systems and processes in business, but also in life.
That sounds so lame. So I hope that when we get into it, system and processes sounds more exciting.
Yeah, but it's just the way that it's like worded. It's way better.
Today's topic, system and processes.
We're going to tell you how to use Microsoft Excel.
Please don't pause us. Keep listening. It's going to be really exciting.
No, but in seriousness, though.
Yeah.
Systems, processes, and follow-ups are really what makes the difference between a good salesman and a bad salesman. Because everybody says...
it's all in the follow-up.
It's all in the follow-up. It really is, man. If you don't... and like, shout out to my boy, Drewby, because he kind of like coined the phrase, call the damn leads. Like, it's so true. If you don't actually start putting in the work and set up a simple follow-up process and a system to which you follow for new clients or prospective clients, whatever you want to call it, dude, you're going to be dead in the water. You ain't got nothing.
I agree. So when I think of follow-up, the first example scenario that pops in my head is when I used to knock doors in roofing, which you did with me also. But that was probably where I learned the art of the follow-up, and not just the art, but the work ethic that goes behind it. Bro, so we had an app. You know all this. I'm going to share this with everybody else. We had an app that in a neighborhood.
Spotio.
Shout
out.
You would go click on the house, put in like the status, like not home, talk to, not interested, re-knock, like come back, check again, whatever. And then after you'd be in a neighborhood for a while, knocking after a big storm, you'd have all these, what are they called? Like drop pins on all these houses. And dude, there would be, every time you'd update it, it would put a number on the pin. Bro, some pins, man, I had like 15 plus, 20 plus.
Yeah.
And remember when we would, when the deal was closed, I think we'd go green, right? So the deal would be closed green, and then like a contract, it was like dark blue or gray or something. And
it was after work was completed, it was like dark blue.
Got it.
Yeah.
So it would be like orange for re-knock for like, days or weeks. And then finally, you close the deal. The husband was home, the wife, whoever it was.
Yeah.
And you turn it green. And I remember sometimes you'd like see me turn it green while you're somewhere else in the neighborhood. You'd be like, yo, you finally closed.
Dude, it was cool. And that's the same thing. That was a system that was put in place, because if we were just running around knocking on doors and then going back to our trucks and like writing in a notepad, like 1648 Main Street, I knocked at 2:48 p.m. and then relied on that piece of paper to go back on and be like, wait, did I mark down? Didn't I talk to her? What did she say? Like, and that's the thing is having that proper system in place. Like, the statistic that I heard, and I've heard this a million times, but it's basically across all industries, but it takes a typical 8 touches to close a deal. So 8 separate points of contact before the deal is typically closed, or you sign a contract, or however the process or whatever business that you're in.
Right.
But till that deal is closed, right? So if you don't have that system, dude, you're going to drive yourself nuts.
So what kind of systems do you use currently? Because I just gave an example of a previous one for myself, obviously, but like in your business, what do you guys use as a system in
I'm
place?
glad you asked. So we use we use one of the major CRMs. So like, there's like Salesforce, HubSpot. I think there's like Twilio. There's other ones like that. But anyway, so we use HubSpot, which I personally love. So all the leads that come in, and anybody can set it up like that. Like if you have sales pages or sales funnels that you mainly focus on for your lead flow, you can funnel it right into HubSpot. You can funnel it right into Salesforce. You can categorize it. I mean, the options are completely unlimited as to how you can really set it up. And the benefit being is that a lot of this stuff is automated. And that's the biggest thing is that if I just came into work every day and then relied on my memory to be like, okay, I followed up with that person. I think I should follow up with them. Maybe I should try this. No, dude, I set tasks and then I automate the tasks. So I'll say I need to follow up with this person. So I type out a quick email and set it and schedule it. And then I don't ever have to worry about it because then they're in a sequence, right? Yeah. So automatic emails that I said to that specific customer get sent out. And all of a sudden they're sending me back emails going, yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it going. And I'm like, wait, who is this? Oh yeah, I forgot. But I didn't have to do anything. It's automated. Like,
can you imagine doing your job without any?
Oh my God, no. Hell no. Dude, it would be terrible.
You'd blow up.
I couldn't imagine doing half of the sales jobs without a process. Like,
dude, you had a job. No, you had a job. This isn't about follow-up, but just in the world of,
oh my God, technology.
Automation, processes, technology, whatever.
You
had a job where y'all were straight up. First off, we're in DFW, right? North Dallas. And the hub or headquarters of your company was elsewhere, like different state. So, and you guys would close deals at these homes. You had like a trade at a house that you guys would do. And when you closed the deal, I remember making fun of you. I was like, bro, you can't work with these guys. This is like ancient. Y'all would straight up pull out like a notepad.
A clipboard.
I
had a clipboard with contracts on it.
And you signed a contract with a pencil or a pen or some shit. And then what did you have to do to get the contract in?
No, so it was like one of those classic contracts where it's white and then yellow and then pink, right? So pink would go to the customer, yellow would go to the install crew, and then white would stay with me. And then at the end of the month, I would have to get all those contracts together. So I had to hold on to all this. Then if there's any down deposits,
which, by the way, I don't hold on to any paper or anything. I don't think I have any
paper in my house.
I don't even take receipts from stores.
Yeah, like, it's all automated.
It's gone by the time I get to my car.
There's systems and processes to automate it. All right, freaking shout out to what is that company, Intuit or whatever, freaking that saves all your receipts automatically and does all your taxes for you. But anyways, but yeah, so I had to write it all down, save all those contracts, and then any checks that I got, I'd have to staple them to the contracts, and then at the end of the month, I would FedEx those to the home office. Right? Like, dude, you're gonna.
That's the dumbest shit ever. I made so much funny. I'm like, bro, how do you work for a company? And this is in 2020 or 21.
No, this is like 2019. Like iPads existed at this time.
I mean, like, how do you work for a company that says, yeah, I want you to write this down with a pencil and I want you to keep all the paper and can I fax or can I email it over? No. We're not going to.
We're going to FedEx it.
We're going to have you FedEx it so we can make sure the mail takes a little bit to get to us, and we want to make sure that we have enough time to think about how many are coming and prepare ourselves and blah blah blah. That's the craziest shit ever.
What if FedEx loses it? So what? I just don't make any money because the FedEx lost the package.
Contract's null and void.
Yeah, you have no contract. So what? All these people just get free stuff because I didn't have the contract.
That's crazy.
No, and I worked for 2 companies that were just like that. And anytime, and the problem is that it's a management problem. Like management doesn't understand systems and processes, or the sales team is typically a bunch of people that are older that can't understand sales and processes. So the management's like, we can't implement this because we'd lose half our sales team.
The best managers, the ones that have already been in the sales role, obviously.
Yeah.
They know how it is. So it's like, dude, I've been doing this like this, and now if I'm a manager and I need this to come to me, I already know the most efficient way we can get this done because I was the one providing it in the first place.
Can you imagine that? Like, let's put it into your perspective. Let's say that, you rolled up to a customer's house and they're looking at life insurance, and you bring out that freaking stack that they get in the mail and go, hey, let's just go through this real quick. So over here, this is your death benefit. Let's flip over a couple pages. This is what, and then when they're like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And you're like, all right, great. And then you pull out another stack of papers and you're like,
what's
all right,
funny is I would have that stack probably for the first appointment. And then I'd probably lose it between that and like my second or third appointment.
Yeah. Imagine carrying a briefcase. You're like walking up to someone's house. Oh, what carrier you want to go with? Let's see. There we go. Like, I know. Dude, insane.
It's bad. It can get bad. So, I mean, the importance of having not just the processes, which I think are just the systems that work for, wow, look, I did that process system. All right. Just the systems that are in place that provide that type of technology. Yeah. That's important. And I cannot get my throat cleared today. And then the automation, I think, is what probably ties it all together just in a nice...
Well, that's what sets you apart.
Yeah, exactly. Because now you can spend better time on, new prospective clients, other people. You don't have to try to remember every little thing. You know how many times I've laid in bed at night, especially when I used to do like door-to-door sales and things like that. I'd lay in bed like, okay, shit, did I go check on Mrs. Smith? Okay, no. Was her husband home? Yeah. Oh, let me go check my notes. And if I didn't put a note in, or before we had that app, like I was all over the place. Yeah. I mean, you can imagine some of these guys out here have just intense sales jobs. They're talking to hundreds of leads a month, and sometimes thousands, and they've got to remember all that shit. Are you joking? That's not going to happen. So what I want to understand, so on your end, you use a lot of automation, which comes from like for emails, like texting or calling, things like that. Yeah. Reminders, all that good stuff. Right?
Dude, I use everything that the CRM can possibly do. Like I maximize everything, and for that exact thought, right? Like, so
that's
on
another
average,
topic I want to hit on. I want to make sure we talk on it. Not just having it, but using it. Yeah, I know. I passed it too. We got COVID.
Shout out to COVID.
We're gonna sit here in quarantine.
Just kidding. I don't even want to claim that because I don't actually feel that good right now. So if I go home and take a COVID test, I don't know. Like,
have you taken a COVID test before?
I'm gonna blow my house up or something. What?
Have you ever taken a test before?
Yeah, where they just throw the cotton swab up in your nose. I feel like that's a joke, and really they just need the front, and they're like, yeah, we just need to go.
I've only taken 2 ever. I did one at his office, and I did one at my house.
Okay, way off topic. Anyways,
yeah. So
I use all of it.
Yeah, how do you utilize it? Because it's one thing to have the system, like that's cool, right? But it's another thing to actually use it, like this switchboard right here. Like we have it, that's cool. But Matt likes to press buttons, and if I press a button, what happens?
That happens.
Yeah, look at that, dude. So utilizing it. So what do you do with it?
So for me, the easiest thing that I do, and like how my process is, so I have automated people that fill out an application, right? Because they want to talk to me. Then they'll schedule a call, which automatically puts it on my calendar. As soon as that happens, automatically they get sent a text with a link to a video that's like a quick 20-minute demo that tells them everything that they need to know. That way they don't come to me with questions like, hey, so what is this? Like, they have to watch the video. And then to confirm the appointment, they have to text back done saying that they watched the video. And then I have another automated system that automatically texts them and goes, great, what was your biggest takeaway from the video? And they have to respond to that.
This is all in the form of text messaging?
All automation. This is all automated. I don't do none of this until the customer texts back done.
So this not only like lets you work your leads more efficiently,
but
you're making your job a hell
of a lot easier. Dude, I have average,
your leads are becoming more high intent.
Yeah. On average, I'm running 15 calls a day, every day, 6 days a week, 7 days a week right now, because I got a goal to hit and ain't nothing gonna stop me.
Right.
So I'm done 7 days a week, 15 calls a day. Dude, can you imagine at the end of the month? I mean, that's a couple 500-600 appointments in a month. Like, there's no way I could be like, wait, did I talk to? No, wait. Everything is automated.
That's stupid.
While I'm on the call, then check this out. So here's another system that's crazy. So HubSpot has a translate tool, right? So when I'm on the calls, which are already recorded, that way I can go back and listen to it. I used to like put down notes in just like on any CRM, right? You're putting notes on the call, like, oh, we talked about this, or he really liked that, or whatever. There's a translate tool. So as I'm talking, it automatically translates all my words and then puts it into text, and then basically shortens it into notes and bullet points.
What?
Automatically. Don't even have to take notes anymore.
Shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's the thing with systems and processes.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
I want that.
I didn't know it either, but it was like an add-on. Like all of these CRMs like Salesforce and HubSpot have all these add-ons that you can do that just make it easier. Salesforce is a multi-billion-dollar company that was started in California from two dudes in an apartment that was like 600 square feet. And they just had this idea, like, let's just make this easier. That's all it was. And then
I love this about you. I'm like sitting here, for everybody that doesn't know Matt personally, he knows so much random shit, man. Like he'll come across something and he just does like a Google deep dive for like 20 minutes. And he'll just like retain all this knowledge. Like, all right, Salesforce was started by these guys and they went over here and this is why. And did you know this one guy? And then he flipped this and I'm like, what? Like I knew Salesforce existed. I think there's a building here in Dallas somewhere that says Salesforce. So they own a building here.
They're a multi-billion dollar company.
That's so dope. Wow. I know. I mean, I knew they were multi-billion.
They have their own academy now. They have their own Salesforce Academy.
Wow.
Where you can go through and get certified as a Salesforce like trainer.
Yeah.
And then can use that to go get jobs training sales teams on how to use Salesforce.
That's nuts.
It's insane. Like
this goes back to
brilliant.
So another topic, we had another episode. Like if you don't figure out a way to make yourself money, you're just not working hard enough. Salesforce
too easy.
As I just found out, Salesforce literally put a system in place for you to create
for you to make money.
Income. That's nuts.
And that's the thing.
Cool.
Like it's
learn
crazy.
a trade at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, it's nuts.
That's awesome.
So systems are just, I highly, highly suggest if you do not have something like this set up, you immediately go figure it out because it's really not that hard, dude.
And this can work in several industries.
Any industry,
tech, real
honestly.
estate,
If you were selling
T-shirts,
right? Every customer that comes in that bought a T-shirt can potentially be a second, third, fourth customer, right? Yeah. Like, what's that statistic where it's like, is it more expensive to bring on a new customer or to retain an existing company? Or existing customer, it's like 10% more expensive to bring on a new customer, right? So if I was selling T-shirts, which maybe I might do, I don't know, we'll see. But if I was selling T-shirts, if I was selling T-shirts and I had somebody come in and bought 2 T-shirts, right? Then I would set up an automated process where obviously like email blast, like sending him an email saying, hey, how did you like your order? Rate us, right? Oh, you liked it, 5 stars? I'm going to immediately send you a coupon. Because you obviously liked the shirts, you obviously liked what it said or what the business stood for or whatever enough to where you would rate me. So then I'm going to send you a coupon and go, great, now you get 30% off. Go buy more. And they're going to go, oh, sweet.
So many companies do that to me when I or the ones that if you're like shopping for some shit and then you don't buy it,
they'll send you, don't forget about your shopping cart.
Somehow they have your email address now and they're like, did you forget? Here's 15% off. And I'm like, oh shit, it's $8 less now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Buy now.
That made my shipping free. All right.
But cool. On a real note too, let's take it back a notch. So out of systems and processes, I know that that's a big thing in life too, right? Just like in everyday life. So you are one of the most probably scheduled people that I've ever met. Like I have a lot of stuff in my calendar.
On a good day.
Okay, yeah. But for you, it's like, I feel like you have it scheduled to like brush your teeth at 8:15 to 8:16, you know, or 8:17. From 8:17, you look at yourself in the mirror and go, damn, from 8:19 to 8:20.
Start your day.
Dude, like I feel like yours is, but at the same time, you have to be like that. Like you run a business, you have your family, you have all these other things outside of life going on. So talk a little bit about your systems and processes and how you get through like a normal day with everything you got going on.
Well, when it comes to your everyday life, I think that system and processes translates just to daily routine, right?
Schedules.
So scheduled routine. For me, if I don't have it scheduled, and I tell people this all day long, business-wise, family, friends, if it's not in my calendar, I don't care. If someone said, hey, you want to go get a beer in an hour, like it goes in my calendar. So for 2 reasons. One, and these are both very important. One, so I don't forget. Yeah. Because I promise you I'll forget. I just will.
Yeah, you forgot something for me this morning.
Yeah, so. I did. I'm sorry. I'll bring it to you next week.
Yes, you.
And 2, so my wife knows that it's there. So we share a calendar. So it's like, if it's happening, I've got her on my work calendar. I've got her on, we have each other on call it like the home calendar, like our own scheduled stuff for kids, you know, whatever. And so, but if those 2 things don't happen, then it's might as well have been, you never talk to me about it. Like it doesn't exist. Yeah. So no, I don't go as deep as scheduling brushing my teeth, but I do like to have things scheduled because A, I will forget. And then B, it makes it to where if I don't have it in my calendar, I'm almost a little bit lost because there's so many random things I could be doing. Yeah. Like it doesn't ever, I'm never just sitting down on the couch like, oh, wow, I got every single thing done and I could do nothing. Now, sometimes I still choose to do nothing because I want to keep my sanity.
I don't know anybody that feels like that probably.
Yeah, dude. So like, I don't work for myself. I don't do a 9 to 5 where I clock out and it's like work just goes away. And then I'm also not single living by myself doing nothing if I want to. Like I've got even if I did work 9 to 5, work goes away, then I come home and then like family starts, right?
Yeah.
So if I have nothing in my calendar, I get lost and then I just start doing random stuff and then I'm not as efficient with just my time, or I might try to take something on that I probably shouldn't have because it's going to take me longer than it should have or than I thought it might. So for me, if I have it scheduled, like the gym or, but the gym, and then also like getting into the office, if I'm going to the office that day, or a meeting or a call I need to make or return a call or whatever, I will toggle between like reminders in the calendar. And I wish you could put like reminders in the calendar. That's a good idea. We should think about that.
Hey, cool Salesforce, figure it out.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you could put reminders in your calendar app so you don't have to go between. All right, anyways. So I like to put those things literally in the most organized way that I can, because if I don't, then not just am I lost, but I just start doing the most random stuff and I'm just super inefficient. So for instance, I'll put the gym at this time. And for me, I don't have a specific time every single day I go to the gym. It kind of depends on my day because my wife leaves for work at like 6 a.m. So if she didn't, then maybe I would do the gym like every single morning. But for me, our daily routine is like she's gone by 6. She's up at like 4:30, right? I'm trying to be up between like 5:30. Usually it's closer to 6.
Yeah,
but that's my goal, right? So because she'll be listening to this, so she's gonna call me on my bullshit if I fib on that. So if I didn't have to get like the kids ready and get them to daycare every morning, then maybe I'd probably have the gym every morning at like 6 a.m. But I don't, right? So every single day I've got to decide, okay, based on my day, when am I going to go to the gym? Because I have found that even if I end up finding time in the day, if it's not in my calendar, I will come up with an excuse that in my head at the time is a very viable excuse.
Yeah.
To not go to the gym.
Yeah.
And
I need to follow up with Sally. I've been needing to, I keep forgetting to do this. I got to do it right now.
Yeah. And this one guy called me 4 weeks ago that I just remembered I never called back. So I've got to make sure I schedule a time to call him.
Got to do it right now.
Yeah.
No other time.
Just scheduling it could take
an hour,
45, an hour.
And then, oh man, gym time gone. Dang.
Yep. And then you're like, I got to pick up the kid, So scheduling that, scheduling dinners, like what are we going to do? Because it's so funny, man. If me and Jen, if we don't, talk about what's going to be for dinner like the week prior or at least a few days prior, we'll both get home. It'll be like 6 o'clock. Kids are home. We're home, and we're like, "What are we doing? What are we doing for dinner?"
Dude, I hate that so
much.
Are
you doing it? And then, am I doing it? Oh no, I have to do this. Remember, it's in the calendar. It's like, shit. Did we not plan? Nope. Okay. Yeah. And then guess what we do? We order out, or we order in, right? And so then that's a whole other topic if you want to start blowing money on food every week. But I've seen the importance for my life to have that in place, because if I don't, everything just goes to crazy shit. And it's funny because I listen to all these other people's podcasts, right? Like real big entrepreneurs. Like, their lives, I think that I'm busy and I'm like, there's no way. Like these guys are doing just
got like 15 board meetings a day.
It's insane. So like I think about it, and I'm actually going to be asked, this will be one of the questions I ask, our guest that's coming up, because this guy's got so many kids, he's running a business, all these different things he's got to balance. And I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? Right. So, I've seen the importance in other people's lives. I've watched it. Now I know why it's important in my life, because I will go to complete crap if I can't understand like what's happening next, what's happening now. What I think is the most powerful thing is to be able to share the calendar with someone, share this, because if you're not sharing your routine, then you don't have anybody else holding you accountable with it. Like some people in my business, I've got shared calendars where this person knows I'm going to be doing that, or I know that person's going to be doing this, whatever. And then scheduling times, because I know that now if I get on a Zoom with somebody and in my calendar it's scheduled for like 30 minutes, I know that I won't go over the 30-minute mark. Like I've got 30 minutes for that because of these other 3 things coming up. So if I only scheduled the Zoom, and let's say it was 30 minutes, but I didn't schedule the other 3 things I've got to do after that Zoom, then I might take that Zoom to an hour. So you can just start, talking, right? And then after that happens, I just screwed myself for the next 2 or 3, objectives I wanted to get done, and they never get done. Now, do you do any of that? Because I know you're praising me for everything I do, but I'm not that great. But
unfortunately, I feel like a good majority of our friends are now starting to listen to this. So I can't be like, oh yeah, dude, I'm up at 5. Like, I'm usually in the gym 5:30.
Yeah.
I'm doing leg press 1,500 pounds by 9:35.
Wow.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I don't. Yeah. Well, no, that's not true. I have gotten better at it, but I'm really bad at, my biggest thing is notes. Dude, I will write everything down in notes, right? So like as I'm going throughout my day.
Like the app on your phone?
Yeah. Someone will call me and be like, hey, something, I'm ready to go. I just need to do this. I should be ready to sign contracts tomorrow. And I'm like, all right, great. I'll go put in my notes, right? Because it's already transcribed, so I already know it in HubSpot. But anything outside of HubSpot, because I do all my calling from there, everything. If they call my phone and I'm like, answer the phone or whatever while I'm eating or whatever, and I'm like, okay, great. I'll get a phone. I'll go write it down in my notes. And I'm like, set appointment, follow up for 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And then in my head, I'm like, all right, scheduled. It is not scheduled. So then all of a sudden at like 4:30 the next day, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, didn't I, and then all of a sudden they like call me and they're like, hey, I thought we had a call at 4:30. I'm like, we do. So I was busy with another client, but glad you called. So let's get into it, whatever. Yeah. That, and then the other thing too, and my fiance knows about this, but my biggest thing is obviously like getting to the gym. Once I'm there, dude, I'm all in it. Getting to the gym, and I feel like this is everybody's excuse, is like the hardest thing in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
It's just getting up, putting clothes on, driving to the location. Once I'm there and I walk in, I'm like, oh, it's game time. But if I can't get there, no game time, right? So I started telling her like, hey, like after that podcast we had with Blake, I was like, dude, I got to get in the morning, because if I keep saying I'm going to go after work, it never works, because then, our daughter comes home, she wants to play and run, and then we got to eat, and we got to figure this out. And then all of a sudden it's 9:00 and I don't like working out late. So I'm like, I'll go tomorrow. Yeah. So for me, what I started doing was telling her like, hey, I need to get up and go to the gym. She will not get off my ass about it. Shout out to you, because you know who you are. But it stays on me now. As soon as she comes, did you go to the gym today? You didn't go to the gym today. Let's go right now. Go right now. I will take care of you. Go right now.
Shit.
Deal. Yeah. Right. Which is good, right? Because for me, that's motivation. Like some people are like, like love languages. They have different means of, oh, you can't communicate with me bad. No. For me to do anything, you got to talk shit. You got to put me down and be like,
I know. I've done it for years.
Dude, right? You got to walk in and be like,
for anyone listening, not watching, my hand is raised up because that is me. I will tear your ass up.
You look fat as shit right now. You should probably fix that. Like that to me, I would never be like, aw. I'd be like, damn, he's right. I don't look good right now. I got to get my ass in the gym. Like that's just how I take information. That's another random key piece. If you get into a sales position, I strongly advise having a conversation with your manager or your upline or whoever is over you, and letting them know exactly what motivates you and how to keep you accountable, because everybody's a little bit different. A lot of managers are not going to ask you this question. That is a conversation that I've had, shout out to Ethan, that I've had where I specifically told him like, look, this is how I am. I want you to be 100% real. I want you to be 100% straight up. Don't beat around the bush and be like, yeah, you didn't really do good in sales this month, but you're good though.
I don't know
you're
what
a good guy.
I feel like it's only because this has been true for years. Like this is not new. Like humans have been the way humans have been for as long as we've been humans. But I feel like only like the quote unquote woke companies are doing that right now.
Yeah, like where they have those conversations.
Yeah, so like I know we got to stop like dogging on car dealerships, but they just keep coming to mind. It's like the most classic sales job that anybody can jump into and do really well or do really shitty. But I feel like a lot of those environments don't care enough because it's like a revolving door. So
one in, one out.
They don't want to take the time to go like, hey, Travis, I know that you're renew and last week was this and we went over your numbers and I know what your goals are and I know what your threshold needs to be. Like, how can I best serve you as, the person that's been put in place to best to help you? That's what a manager is. They're supposed to be the person helping you, not just
the person directing
that
you.
Grills you. Like, we're all adults, right? Like you can do a fucking job. Like, hey, go sell cars. Like that's kind of all you got to know. Right. Yeah. And then you have little bits and pieces that kind of fill the gaps to actually make the deal happen. But that person is there to help, right? Like agents that I work with, like they'll call me, they'll ask me this, ask me that. And when I made a mistake when I first got into this business, when I started working with more agents one-on-one, I would like, I'm naturally a more blunt person. Like I just, cause I'm like super over taking too much time to like just beat around the bush. Yeah. Like, hey, what do you think, like asking questions and doing that. And so I would just be like, hey, this sucked. You need to do it this way. And I don't think you should ever do that again.
Yeah.
Like that's how I'd love to communicate. And that's how sometimes I can do with you. I mean, I've learned I can't just be a dick forever. But when I am working with other people that are not anywhere close to the type of person that I am, and they can't take that and have it be constructive criticism, I've had to figure out, okay, I need to actually understand this person.
Yeah.
And it'll come down to asking like, hey, how are you best served when I want to, either give you advice or when you're asking for advice? Like I have people straight up call me like, hey, listen to this call I had with somebody, and then can you tell me where I went wrong or what I can do better? Right?
Yeah.
So when they bring that to me, I don't take that lightly, because they're literally asking me for help so they can go make more money.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. They're not just doing nothing that day and they're like, you know what, I think I just want to ask Sage's opinion for like no reason at all. Like there's a purpose behind it, right?
Yeah.
So it's my job and duty to fulfill that purpose, but in the best way that they can hear it. Right?
Exactly.
So like
everybody takes it differently.
Right. With your guy Ethan, which man, I really want to get him on the show one day. So we got to make that happen.
He's got to be on here.
But with your guy Ethan, he understands that, and he knows how to motivate and communicate with Matt the way that Matt needs to be motivated and communicated with. So I wish other people would, maybe anyone listening to this that is in a management position that might not do it. Just like give it a shot.
Give it a shot, man.
And it's not that hard. It
makes a huge difference.
I think what's hard is when you try to figure it all out on your own, it's as simple as just going to that person and saying, hey, how do you want me to communicate with you?
Everybody knows how they like to be communicated with. It's not news to them. They're not going to go, no, I think you're doing good. I mean, they're going to tell you and be like, well, so, and like, it's funny because I just had this conversation with Ethan the other day. He went over one of my calls and he pointed out something that I didn't even know about myself, but I've done it 100 times on this podcast. Yeah. He was like, when somebody asks you a question, you'll go, for me,
my dad just told me that
really?
2 days ago about you.
Dude.
He goes, Matt always says, me personally, and he goes, dude, just say what your opinion is. I was like, yeah. Oh my God, he does. I didn't notice it.
I didn't notice it, but I've been doing it
20 years.
Exactly. I've been doing it for years, right? And so Ethan goes, hey, listen, when somebody asks you a question, they're not directly asking for your opinion. They don't care. They just want to know the answer. So stop saying that. And I went,
that's wild. Okay. Hey, you just had that, and then I just confirmed it from somebody else. Yeah. So you got to stop. That's for real now.
I got to stop now.
It's not even just a
so for me, though, I'm just kidding. No, but, and that's the thing. But if he would have came up to me and been like, hey, so I noticed, you're doing great, by the way. You're so good. You're so good. Yeah. But if maybe, so if
you're perfect, but just change, like that's the
he came to me and he was like, hey, you say for me a lot, just don't do that anymore, okay? They don't care. Next. And then I was like, all right, cool. And I quit saying it. Did he say
that from like listening to this or just on
from one of my calls?
Yeah, one of your calls.
A student had asked me a question and they were like, yeah, what's like dropout rate or something? And I went, well, for me, what I think about it, and then went on and they didn't like say anything. He was like, look, it's not that it's bad, but he was like, they didn't ask for you. They asked in generalities. So like no one gives a shit about your opinion.
This is part of what you're saying, but what I probably just literally 2 months ago just kind of clicked in my head. I actually got this app that it would have you type out. It was like a brain, like enhance your brain app, right?
Yeah,
so
you told me about this.
Instead of playing games, I want to try this brain app. So this was like a month or two ago. And so I'd known about this, and I knew that I did it, but I never really put it like to paper, like to really fix it. And what it was is that when you're typing out like a text or an email or whatever, a lot of people will add words that are completely
nonsense,
retarded. Like you don't need the word in there at all. Like it's dumb.
Yeah.
So it was having me type out these sentences, and then it would say, based on this sentence, you don't need these 5 words. And they would take the words away, and I would look at it and be like, holy shit, it still gets the exact point across. And you just made it more, and it actually makes you sound, when you're reading it as the reader, it makes you sound more clear and concise, and like you're just getting the point across.
Yeah.
And what's really funny, also, someone posted this on Instagram the other day. It goes, hey, can everyone just stop putting LOL at the end of text? Just say what you want to fucking say.
Yeah, right.
Bro,
it's just a word fill.
I'm so used to, I'll be like talking to my wife and she'll say, what are you doing? I'll be like, on the way home, dude, this guy just cut me off. He pissed me off so much. LOL. Like, it's not funny. I'm not even laughing. It's almost just like to like get what you're trying to say just out a little easier. Like, LOL. Yeah. There you go. But back to what I'm saying with the typing. So when I'm talking to, especially when you're talking in like a professional scenario, right? So you put in all these extra words and you're like, dude, this email is like 4 sentences too long just because you have all these words that literally do not need to be in there at all. So, I mean, that plays in the same, like, well, me personally, like you don't need to say me personally, just say what you need to say. Just go straight into it.
Yeah, the answer is blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't need to be like, well, for me, in my opinion, the way that I look at things in life.
Better. You sound better saying it that way, too.
Yeah, it's just more, it's more direct. You answer the question, you ask the question, I answer the question, period.
Yeah. It's scary.
Dude, it's crazy.
You're going to intimidate me.
Man, what another great episode, dog.
Yeah, it was fun chatting, dude. Oh, yeah?
Dude, always got to bring it back in. Big shout out to everybody who checked out this podcast.
Thank y'all for listening.
Thank y'all so much. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share.
Our listeners and downloads are going up too. It's kind of cool.
Our listeners where?
Our listeners are going. Turn this down. I'm trying to talk. Okay. I'm not done yet. Our listeners and download numbers have gone up.
Dude, they're going up steady. Wait till we hit episode 7. We give away $1 million in Monopoly
money. $1 million
yeah, Monopoly money.
Yeah, dope.
It's the same thing. Imagine buying Boardwalk.
I was talking to someone about this the other day. We'll end on this, but I never really put pen to paper on what I wanted out of this in terms of how many people to listen to it. Yeah. I honestly didn't give a shit. I just wanted to fill in some time and hang out with you and like chat because we already do this anyways. I was like, let's just create a podcast. It'll be fun. And we hadn't done it before. But dude, we're getting like some cool feedback. Yeah. Like people are commenting on the YouTube
sharing
side.
It and
by the way, anyone listening on Spotify, check out the YouTube because it's recorded video. You can actually see our pretty faces.
Big facts.
I'm smiling in the camera now.
Yeah, I had plastic surgery just for this, so make sure. I'm just kidding.
The only thing that sucks is like YouTube when you're driving, you can't
listen to it in the car.
And well, you can, but it has to stay on the app. It's
no, they got like YouTube Play now, where you have to pay for it, but you can listen to it like music.
Got time for that. I'm paying $2.99 for YouTube. Whatever.
Anyways,
thank you. Thank
you for tuning in.
We appreciate it. Thank you for sticking with us. I can't wait for episode 7. That's gonna be dope,
dude. It's coming. We got more guests.
We're gonna break
more
records.
Knowledge.
We're gonna be the top 2%
breaking records
podcasters.
All right.
We surpassed episode 7.
All right. We'll check y'all later.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share if you had a good time with us. We appreciate y'all.
Peace. Deuce.